Raise my head in the morning, but tonight I'm gonna find a way.
We should get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I go home at 5 o'clock in the morning. How do you do that?
Yes, you do.
It sucks.
How do you do that? How do you get up every day at 5 o'clock in the
You
morning?
go to bed at 9:30 with your children.
Oh, no.
It would take like a pound of meth for me to do that.
Well, so that's when you have kids, you just get into a routine. It's like when you're in the bars all the time, you're in a routine, you know, that's what I have to do during the year, so.
I love it. I love it. It's, oh, I can't. Every morning, well, I go for a run every morning. I'm usually running late.
Oh, Mom, imagine
Look a
that.
Hey,
We were all young like you one time, Greg. We did exactly what you were doing, I guess, kind of, when I was wide open. Just kidding. Just so kidding.
Welcome out to episode 10 of the Greg Tish Show. We made it to 10.
Hey!
Big kids,
10.
double digits.
It's awesome. They did it without me in New York City, imagine that.
It was fantastic. We're actually very happy because there's a lot of shows that didn't make it 10 episodes.
That's all right.
Wow.
Yeah, like I don't think that the Tonight Show with Jay Leno made it, or did it?
Might be,
I think it made it to like 12.
12? Yeah, maybe a couple. The Magic Johnson Show. I don't know if that made it.
Are
Chevy
you
Chase
asking
show.
for more money? You know, me being an agent, are you asking for more money?
We need more money for the show. Yeah, please sponsor.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Tonight, we have a very special beer. We actually featured it in an earlier episode, which we all loved. We went out to Chuck Stubbs, and Alicia taught us all about barbecue, which we get to use this weekend. It's FSU football this weekend. We are doing PBR again. And what I have done
It's
is
the Boone's Farm of beers.
and what I've done. So tonight on the Spirit of Food, you know what you're going to do?
What am I going to do?
Marco's Pizza and PBR. Scott, second episode.
Yeah.
We really greatly enjoyed the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale last night. That I was watching it and I really wanted to have a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
And tonight I get to talk about Pabst and what happens to Pabst when he goes to China.
Ooh, stay tuned for that. But now I'm very stoked about learning once again about a fantastic beer, PBR.
Pabst is special because it's always been there, I think, in everybody's life at some point. You know, whether it's you had it 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you've got some kind of association with it somewhere. And seeing the can, seeing the bottle, seeing the label, or just, you know, smelling and tasting brings you back to these memories you have. It might be a lazy Sunday afternoon where you mowed the lawn and then kicked back and smelled the grass. It might be a 4th of July festival that you went to with a bunch of friends and a bunch of family. It's about 5% alcohol, which is a little bit stronger than most American-style light lagers. It's very clean. It doesn't have anything that's really off-putting or negative. It's just a really neutral beer. Some people say, yeah, it tastes bad or doesn't taste really great. I think what they have is an experience of drinking it out on a hot summer day where eventually their bottle's warmed up or their can's warmed up, and then it's just kind of, whoa, that's really foul. In and of itself, it just pairs with everything. Like if you ask for a food pairing for Pabst, it's going to go with everything because it's not going to overpower any food. It may not accent it a whole lot, but it's one of these things that, okay, this will be something that everybody likes. This will work for everybody. It won't exclude anybody. Pabst is kind of this beer that follows you throughout life. And it's kind of followed the country for the most part, for a lot of its life. It came about in 1844 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so that puts it about 168 years old. So this is a pre-Civil War beer. It started off really strong, it stayed, it made it through Prohibition. I think it peaked in the mid-70s. And then it kind of got brought back. It you know, for a while was this hipster beer to drink because nobody else drank it. And then I think it's moved past that now. I think everybody's got the idea of, I kind of remember this beer and I sort of like it, and it just is a beer that makes you happy. What differentiates it is it still uses reasonably good ingredients. When you get to the really bottom of the barrel beers, they start using a lot of corn. And corn is really, really foul tasting. You'll find it in a lot of malt liquors. But when you go to that level of ingredient, that's where you start really losing it as a beer. That's when you go from perhaps no flavor to negative flavors. There's a version of Pabst in China, and it's called Pabst 1844, in reference to the year that the brewery was founded. And it sells in China for $44 a bottle. I'm not sure how it tastes. I'm guessing not $44 worth, but you know, they're buying a little slice of America. That's what they're paying for, and that's what Pabst is.
The founders of America's 3 biggest pizza companies come from the Midwest. The founder of Marco's Pizza is also from the Midwest. Of Italy. Marco's, authentic Italian pizza.
Hello, I'm Florida State football coach Jimbo Fisher with Bob Lotane of the Capita Area Red Cross.
Join us for the 5th annual Robin Lotane Hurricane Run. The 1-mile fun run begins at 7:45, the 5K at 8:15. There'll be food, beer, and lots of fun.
The race will be held Labor Day morning at the Red Cross headquarters at Tom Brown Park.
Learn more and register at active.com or tallyredcross.org. All proceeds support local Red Cross operations.
See you there.
One of the cool things that I really like is driving through downtown and driving up Monroe Street, coming up the hill, and looking at Cascades Park, and just how amazing it is. I mean, I know
It's
you're very
awesome.
heavily involved with it, but tell us about what's going on. Give us a progress on Cascades Park so everybody that drives by, that you can know what's going on.
Well, it does look really impressive right now. It's not just a raw piece of earth that we've seen for so long. You can actually see some of the infrastructure coming out of the ground. So first thing we got to remember, this is a stormwater project. That's why it was on the Blueprint 2000 list. This is our infrastructure sales tax going to pay for this. It's a really awesome project that will help with the stormwater downtown, but most importantly, what we're all going to love is what's above ground. The amphitheater, the Smoky Hollow exhibit, the Discovery Garden, where we didn't have a playground out there, and this Discovery Garden is going to be an amazing place for kids to go. So actually those 3 programs were not fully designed or funded a year ago, and we've gotten them done in a year.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really been moving quickly this year. Some rain delays, so I think construction's getting pushed back a little bit.
Oh wait, rain delays this summer in
I
Tallahassee?
know. Who would know? Yeah, we haven't had this in years and years, but all the contractors are, you know, getting used to rain delays again. But probably next spring, late spring, we will be out at the park celebrating the opening, and hopefully by next summer hearing concerts and Shakespeare in the Park at the amphitheater, which I think is going to be awesome.
You're good. We were just at Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce conference, and you got up and said a little bit, and it was just awesome.
Thank you.
It was just how you just progressed, and I'm very proud of you. I know a lot of people out there are very proud of you.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, one thing on that note, if I can do this, anybody, or I should say lots of people can do it. Some people, you know, they'll get up there and they'll be a firebrand and maybe it won't work so much, but our community is very receptive to young people getting into office. We have 4 of our 12 county commissioners who are in their 30s, which is remarkable. And we need more women. We only have 3 county commissioners, or in county and city rather, out of 12 who are women. And we need more people to run for office. So if I can do this, I'll make a little plug. Lots of people should think about this in the future, because it may seem really scary before you start it, but I think there's a lot more people who could actually be very good commissioners than are thinking about it right now.
What's been your biggest challenge, or something that, not necessarily a challenge, but your biggest surprise why you've held the office, that all of a sudden you like something you didn't think about, and then this just comes up and you're like, wow, this just kind of floors me, like some kind of, I mean, with policies or with, you know, is there something, is that even a good question?
Well, you know, it's interesting. It's one of the most common questions that I get, mostly in the first year. Lots of people say, what surprised you? And I can honestly say not much. And yeah, that it felt good to be able to say that. I think, you know, if you're an extreme nerd and you watch the county commission meetings all the time, like I did, even before deciding to run for office, I was doing that. you really get a good sense of, like I said before, the scope of the different programs we have and the services we provide and where the funding comes from. And a lot of people have said that there are surprises within that scope of service. They'll come into office and they'll say, wow, I didn't know the county did this. For me, not so much. I think if I could say anything, it's how I react or interact within political situations, because that was all new to me.
Yeah.
So maybe I've surprised myself a little bit in those areas, but on the policy end, I feel like I did my homework, and I'm very happy that I came into it with a solid base.
So the policy, all good with that, and then the politics of it is kind of like dealing with the dark side.
Dealing with the dark side, indeed. Oh my goodness, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, it's exactly where I'm going
yes,
with this.
yes.
That is called a professional segue.
Right.
Now what I'd like to bring in is I have Gabby over here, that she has got something very special.
You can approve what
yes.
You can approve what a nerd I am.
We are huge Star Wars nerds, and I actually have Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, and I am going to ask you some questions. I pulled some out.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm going to ask you on the spot.
I'm not guaranteeing I'll know all of them.
You better.
Yeah.
Okay. Who meditated in a private hyperbaric chamber?
Darth Vader, of course.
Exactly right. These are easy. Hold on.
Easy.
Who said, "Never tell me the odds"?
Han Solo.
Yes. Yes. How many TIE fighters crashed as the Falcon banked through a narrow asteroid chasm?
Ooh. I really don't know. I'm going to say 2 or 3.
2.
2. There you go.
That's
okay.
very good. We didn't go over this stack of cards. So, what were Ben Kenobi's first 2 words in Star Wars? This is a tough one.
It's to R2. Hi there.
Yes.
There you go.
See, we're nerds. All right, one more, because
okay.
right now all the male viewers are out there going, "Oh my God, this is the best TV ever," and all the female viewers are going,
they're totally
"What are
tuning
you
out.
doing? What are you doing?"
It's true. There's a few women who like Star Wars. Come on
Yeah,
now. I mean, that's.
you.
I know. I know.
Who is the only stormtrooper to be named?
TK421.
TK421.
I
And
got
where
it.
wasn't he?
Where wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that one. Where wasn't he?
He wasn't at his post.
Oh, that's right, at the Falcon. He
Yes.
wasn't at his post. That's it.
TK421. Why aren't you at your post?
That's it. I remember now.
Do you remember it's going to see the movies when you're younger?
I remember seeing Jedi in the theater. I'm younger than you, by the way. Yes. So
No,
I
you're
don't
a lot
remember.
younger
Yeah,
than me,
I don't
yeah.
remember going to see the first 2 movies in the theater. I do remember, however, going to Mugs and Movies and seeing all 3 of them often.
Midnight.
Yes, midnight showings. The Holy Grail, Rocky Horror, the whole bit. I think that's really when I fell in love with them. Was
Mugs and Movies.
in
You
high
just
school.
opened up a whole new segment.
This is a business idea waiting to happen. St. Pete's got a place where you can go in, order a full dinner, and watch a movie. It's awesome. Or maybe Tampa. It's in Tampa or St. Pete. We need to bring back Mugs and Movies. I want that to be my campaign. You can get Journey. I want to bring back Mugs and Movies.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want Mugs and Movies.
There you go.
Commissioner Dozier, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you very much.
I loved it.
Appreciate it.
The founders of America's 3 biggest pizza companies are named Tom, Frank, and John. But Marco's Pizza has a founder named Pasquale, who was actually born in Italy. Marco's, authentic Italian pizza.
Hi, I'm Florida State baseball coach Mike Martin, here with Bob Lotain of the Capital Area chapter of the American Red Cross.
Please join us for the 5th annual Robin Lotain Hurricane Run. The 1-mile fun run begins at 7:45, the 5K at 8:15.
The race will be held Labor Day morning beginning at the new American Red Cross chapter headquarters at Tom Brown Park.
For more information, go to active.com or tallyredcross.org. All proceeds go to support local Red Cross operations.
Hi, my name's Kristen Dozier, and you're watching Fox 49, home of the Greg Tish Show.
Tonight on The Spirit of Food, we're at the 5th Avenue Tap Room, and we have some fabulous Marco's Pizza. And of course, Vanna White is going to bring it in, but as I understand, we have some white cheesy bread something. Vanna, I need you to help me out here. Vanna is very beautiful and tall and blonde-ish.
Blondish. It's called Gray.
Greg.
What we have done tonight is we have gone to Marco's Pizza and we've got some great stuff because they're one of our top sponsors and we haven't actually featured them yet. But we're going to do some cheesy bread and we're going to do another great thing. This is called a white cheesy pizza, which is thin crust. They have thin crust available.
Now that looks yummy.
Yeah. 4 types of cheese. This is actually a big award winner with Marco's Pizza. So
it's thin crust.
Just wait. We got to keep
I
going.
Want some.
And we also have the special that they're running right now. And this is the 16-inch New Yorker 6-slice pizza.
Oh,
so what you're going to do with this is you cut it in half, or you hold it in half and you pray that you can eat the whole thing because it's absolutely delicious pizza. But we're going to get the subs and the chicken wings and all the other great stuff that they have at Marco's, but we figured we'll just have fun with some beer, some cheese bread.
They have awesome pizza.
It's delicious in all 3
And I'm
locations.
very hungry,
and
and I'm glad that you're finally feeding me on the set. I mean, look at me.
She's underfed. This one's underfed, definitely.
So he's whining and dining me tonight. Is that what I'm getting?
Marco's Pizza and PBR. I couldn't think of anything better. Do you agree?
I would think so, yes. Now, actually, I love cheesy bread. Everybody has their favorite way to treat their special cheesy bread. Because we love our cheesy bread. We all do. Don't lie, America. You love your cheesy bread.
I love it with the buttermilk ranch.
I'm just hungry,
There's onions on here, there's tomatoes, and it's also, this is
bacon.
And what a lot of
bacon.
People, we love bacon.
It's the award-winning pizza they have there, so it's amazing. So if you want to, I think you're not giving that one up. We're going to go to the next one and talk about the next one. You just keep eating. We're good.
This one might be a little much.
This one is the New Yorker.
New Yorker. And the way you eat this is you take these slices and then you just kind of...
You fold them over.
Fold it in half.
All right.
And it's just...
Ready, set, go.
That's why they call it the New Yorker. When you're in New York, you go... I eat pizza every single day in New York, and I just got back from an entire summer in New York City, and I eat pizza every single day. But that's the way they serve it. The big slice, one big slice.
Right.
It's huge.
But you said in New York City, actually, it's hit or miss.
It is
if you get a good New York pizza.
It is definitely, and I always forget which ones that I love, but I'm all over the city. And I bop around and I eat pizza pretty much every day, I really do.
Right.
Marco's, you rock.
So tonight has been Marco's Pizza, and we are at the 5th Avenue Tap Room, and we have PBR, which of course only Greg is drinking, but as I hear, it's fabulous if you love Boone's Farm Wine. Let you know, there you go. It's been a lot of fun, and this has been the Spirit of Food on the Greg Tish Show.
When we need help, we know that we have a partner to get us through the tough times. The Capital Area Community Action Agency provides emergency services and assistance to struggling families. Big Bend families have benefited from business startup, on-the-job training programs, and so much more.
The agency made all the difference.
Providing long-term solutions for those in need. The Capital Area Community Action Agency, your partner, our community lifeline.
What is specialty coffee? Specialty coffee is what I'm about. It's me, striving to make that perfect cup, that perfect shot, finding the unique flavors, unique aromas.
What is specialty coffee? It's me. It's hard work. It takes lots of practice.
Great coffee doesn't just happen. Yay!
Hey, welcome back to the Greg Tish Show. I'm Eric Eggers, and this is going to be a little bit of a public service portion of the program. You know, it's late August, we got college students coming back into town, and other people that are just otherwise uninitiated on proper protocols in dealing with the community's great and very important law enforcement community. You know, we want to keep everybody safe, and that includes you. If a cop comes at you trying to plant some drugs on you, you know, something like that. And so here with us, the man that always helps me if somebody's planted drugs in my person, Zachary Ward, criminal defense attorney. Mr. Ward, how are you doing, sir?
Doing well. I told you to stay out of Gadsden County, Eric.
You did. It's my fault. College students coming in, you know, they're all texting and driving and doing all kinds of crazy things. What's a very important piece of advice you would give to a new entrant to the Leon County, Big Bend area, should they find themselves in a situation dealing with law enforcement?
The first and most basic advice I would give to anyone dealing with law enforcement is always be polite. Under no circumstances engage them in an argumentative fashion, or tell them who pays their salary via taxes.
What if you have your pocket constitution, because there's a lot of organizations that hand those out now. I know my rights!
The side of the road or in the back of a police car is no time to have a discussion about your rights, because that gentleman has a gun and a badge and handcuffs. He wins the street discussion.
What if you do find yourself in a situation where you're not sure about your rights and they're asking you to do certain things? What should you know about your rights? What should you do? What should you not do?
What you should do is what I usually tell people: if your house is burglarized, for example, and you call the police, they're there to help you. If you get a call from the police or they show up at your door and ask you to give them a statement, they are not generally there to help you. If that happens, you need to call a lawyer before you go down to the police station and give a voluntary statement.
What do they tell you that they don't, listen, I'm Johnny Law, you're in no trouble. Your deadbeat roommate, maybe it's a different situation. You still think you should call a lawyer?
Yes. What a lot of people don't realize is that the police are allowed to lie to you all over the place during the course of the investigation in order to obtain evidence. They're under no legal guidelines to tell you the truth. They can lie to you.
Unless they're an undercover cop and then you ask them if they're a cop, then they got to tell you if they're a cop, right?
No.
Oh. Then
everything we need to talk about here.
Every movie I've ever seen is totally wrong. What about on the side of the road? Like, let's say you get pulled over, and we got a lot of people. It's a college town. We got a lot of nighttime establishments. It's a big part of the economy, and so we always want to encourage people to drink responsibly. But you do see a lot of people pulled over for drinking under the influence. I imagine that's a big part of your practice as well.
Driving under the influence is a large part of my practice. Anyone who practices criminal law in Tallahassee, it will be a large part of their practice. What I usually tell people to do is, if you're pulled over, it's late at night, you may have been out, you may or may not have been drinking responsibly. When you get pulled over, obviously pull over soon. Don't drive all the way 5 miles home. Pull over, cooperate with the officer, be polite, but what you have to realize, as soon as he tells you to step out of that car, there's a good chance you're going to jail.
Unfortunately, a couple incidents in the last few months involving some high-profile arrests that dealt with maybe the presence of narcotics in a car. I'm sure that's another very common thing in a college town. I think my favorite excuse of all time is, "Those aren't my drugs," or "Those are my cousin's pants." Which, to be fair, if they're your cousin, you probably share a lot of DNA. It makes sense that you would wear the same size pants, right? So that there's something.
Well, I can tell you, years ago as a prosecutor, and more recently as a defense lawyer, the "those aren't my pants" defense never works, because all you had to do as a prosecutor is ask the gentleman, where were you with another man when you guys had your pants off and you got confused real fast and put someone else's pants on?
Isn't that illegal now that Obama repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell?
Well, there's usually not a good answer to that question if you're claiming those aren't your pants. But I want to get back to what you were talking about before. The field sobriety exercises occur on the side of the road. After that happens, you'll be taken to the jail and offered the chance to blow in the breathalyzer. They will give you instructions and tell you if you refuse to blow in this breathalyzer, your license is going to be suspended for a year. What they don't tell you is if you do blow in that breathalyzer and it's above 0.08, they'll suspend your license for 6 months, and it makes it much more difficult for someone like me to properly defend you and frankly try to work our way out of you getting a DUI.
Hard to claim that you weren't under the influence if you have scientific evidence that shows you were under the influence.
Well, I would call the Intoxilizer 8000 semi-scientific evidence at best, the instrument they use to read the breath alcohol content, but Florida law presumes that if you blow over a certain level that you are impaired. So people need to think very, very carefully about blowing into that breathalyzer.
Those levels are different in each state, right? Like in Florida, it's 0.08. What state has the highest BAC you're allowed to have?
I think there's still a couple states that are holding on at 0.10, but I think the majority of states are at 0.08, and there may be a state or two that is less than that. A lot of places
probably Utah.
Right. Probably somewhere that's not a lot of fun.
Right.
Most of the countries in Europe have a fairly low level, but I think 0.08 is fairly standard. I'm only licensed in Florida. So
you're only licensed in Florida. Besides, who would want to go hang out with all them squares in Utah, right? I think their beer is actually watered down.
They may still be on the 3.2. I'm not sure if they've ever changed that, but I've never been.
If people do find themselves in an unfortunate circumstance and they want to find out more information about how to not go to jail or maybe not go back to jail, and they want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
Best way to do it is either send me an email at Zach, Z-A-C-H, at ZachWardLaw.com, or call my office at 224-4607.
Well, Zach Ward, you're one of those people that we hope we never have to call, but every time we do talk to you, it's wildly pleasant. And I mean that in the most sober of senses, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric.
What a great show tonight.
What a great show, Greg.
It was a great show.
Marco's Pizza was up. Just ask us how great the show was.
I loved it. I loved it. Episode 10, seriously, I don't know how it could get even better.
I've had like 20 PBRs already.
You got here earlier than me then. I'm upset.
20 PBRs, that's about $4.50. Unless you're in China, in which we learned about, and you have Pabst 1844.
That's going to cost you about $1,000.
Well, now that brings a whole new meaning. My mom used to say to me, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? So now when she says something
We've
to me,
all
I'm
heard that one.
Mom, what does that have to do with the price of beer in China? Do you know? Thank you so much. Yes.
Oh, man. The producers are giving me some kind of weird thing. Is my hair too long?
Oh, well, you know, Greg, we have been talking about the makeover. Alicia and I
You promised me a makeover and then reneged.
Oh, no, I wasn't in town. I was in New York. No, Marcia Dahl's home. Marcia Dahl will call up Greg Tish and show up on his front door and drag him out the door. But we are, I mean, nice looking guy. I'm in the modeling business and I'm in the acting, huh?
I like when you get into the third person when you talk.
Be Marcia Dahl. Behave yourself. Okay, so you over here.
Yeah.
Yes, good looking guy, you know, nice body, I guess, you know, whatever. But I think you're a pretty good looking guy. And just take off the hat and let's, you know.
You need these?
No, I do, but I'm not going to wear them, but thanks anyway.
I like the little flippy doos you have going on tonight.
Yeah, got little wings
you
going
should
on
model
and
for
all that. But then again, so do I because it's been storming all day. Did not know we were filming, but that's how he dresses anyway. I'm sorry. I do love you, and I think you're very handsome.
Thank you.
And, you know, we could probably hook you up with some really good-looking girls if you just let me spend 1 hour with you. 1 hour. 1 hour.
And she's
Right.
got to do the hair too, though. You have
The
to
hair?
straight
We
in.
gotta shave you, Greg. You gotta shave.
All right,
Maybe with this.
We should
The
have the
producers are-
viewers
the producers-
guess how many pounds of hair you have on your body.
I want to do earmuffs on that. All right, the producers are saying that we are going to do that. So I
We're gonna
guess
do
I
that.
have to listen to the producers because they own us.
I thought it was because you wanted to listen to me, because you know that I'm gonna make you fabulous.
So guys, please visit our Facebook page, The Greg Tish Show. Fees.
Have another beer, Greg.
Yeah, please follow us on Twitter at The
sorry.
Greg Tish Show. And please continue to tell everybody about this show. We are growing and growing and growing. We've heard nothing but great things. Well, except for that one girl, but we got rid of her. So we will be back, same beer time, same beer channel next week. Thank you so much for watching The Greg Tish Show.
They can't stop us now. They can't stop us now. Raise my head in the morning, lift up and see an empty space. Man, the dreams, they all went the same, but tonight I'm gonna find a way.